Okay, so Google makes its money through AdWords, basically the ads that populate the search engines. They provide a tool called the AdWords keyword tool that allows you to find what are the most popular keywords. What I would suggest is around your project, type in the words that you think people would search for your project into this tool, and then see what people are actually searching for. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised that phrases will change the results. You will find words that you would not have thought of. And now you can use this across word or a phrase. You can use it across a website. You can even use it a specific category. Now that's a really important tool for you creating your content, making sure it gets seen, but also for you to find out what you want to do. So this is the keyword tool. Word or phrase right at the top. I've put in production experience, TV production experience. I tried to tailor this to you. Now you have three categories. You have competition, global and local searches. Competition, how many people are bidding on this word? If a lot of people are bidding on it, chances are it's something you might want to use, but be aware, ads will probably take the space. You're not going to get into people's vision. You want that to be medium or low, ideally. Global searches is how many times that's searched globally every month. And then local is depending on your area, so in the UK, that would be the UK. Okay? So we can use that information to basically find out what it is people want, and then also what words you need to use in order to find them. It's a brave new world. Okay, now this is the BBC Careers website, and I had a little bit of a play around this, because you can also put a website into Google Keywords to actually find out what keywords are being used. So I did this to the BBC Careers. Unbelievably, they talk about iPlayer an awful lot. But within that list, there are kind of keywords that you might want to use, or you might want to use to search as well. Okay, so if you're going to use keywords in a title, this is kind of in a blog post or something like that, you basically want the keyword to appear a certain number of times. It can be a phrase or it can be a certain word. You can put it in the content title, you can put it in the headings. It needs to appear in the first paragraph. If you've got a picture, label it with your keyword, and then in the copy, use 1%. So for every 100 words, use your keyword once. Caveat. Don't write content for keywords. Use the keywords to help your content, because, again, it's about value. I would prefer to read something that is really informational and it doesn't have the keywords in and I might struggle finding it because there are other routes, than to read something that is so blatantly optimized for search that it becomes unreadable. Okay, social media. I'm going to cover Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. YouTube, he says. Is that social media? Well, yeah, it is, actually. It was originally designed as a video sharing platform, not a video hosting platform. So social media isn't broadcasting. Broadcast is I talk, you listen. Social media is a conversation. It's about sharing. The more you share, the more you converse with people, the stronger your presence is. The more likely you are to appear online when people search for certain topics, maybe. I've already explained not all social media is the same. So I'm not going to go into kind of like the nitty-gritty of how do you use Facebook, how do you set up a profile, because that would bore you to tears. What I would suggest if you're using something to build a portfolio or build a business around is use pages rather than profiles. Don't use your personal profile. Separate it. Yeah? The reason why is because it's more flexible. People can just like a page. You have to allow them to connect to you. It separates you personally from whatever else it is you do. If you're a freelancer, I would say create a page regardless. It lowers those barriers. And the other thing as well, it provides you with analytics. You can see what's happening on your page. So if you're doing a lot on Facebook, you can see whether it's working or not. And if it's not working, stop doing it. And the best content for Facebook really is pictures and videos, not so much text. Grab people's eye first and then lead them into what you want to talk about. Your project, your employment, your story. The number of times you should really post on Facebook is, if you think about how people use Facebook, if you're looking at it from a business point of view, I check it once in the morning before I check my emails to just kind of like break myself in, and then I use it for the last half hour of the day to waste time in order so I can leave. It's my business, but I still do it. So once at the beginning of the day and once at the end of the day would be ideal. Obviously, if you've got a lot to say, post more, but that would be great. Twitter. Basically, Twitter, I'm not a massive fan of, although I like it for certain things. The reason I don't like it is because it moves so fast. It's like you drop something in the ether and it's gone. In June 2010, 196,980 tweets were sent a minute. In one single minute, that's how many tweets went out. If you're going to tweet something once a day on Twitter, chances are nobody is going to see it. You should, if you've got content and you want to push it out there, start the conversation. You need to do that three times a day, at least twice a week. Not exactly the same text. Don't copy and paste. Twitter does not like that. Big slap on hand, David. But change what you're saying. Pull some more of the content out and put it in there. Use the headings and use different kind of like words to explain it. The best content on there is basically everything. All content works. It's link sharing, Twitter. It's the high street. You walk down the high street and you kind of like hear these interesting conversations around you all the time, and some of them might actually grab your attention. You can actually use certain tools to optimize when to tweet, called Tweriad. This allows you to time where your followers are online, most likely online. So once you've got them, you can find out when they're online and target your tweets accordingly. Again, this isn't broadcasting. This is for you to start a conversation. You want more eyeballs and more people engaged with that so you can respond and build something. And then another tool that I don't use quite so much anymore is Tweet Stats. It breaks down the usage, how people are using it. LinkedIn is awesome. LinkedIn is not just your CV online. You need to get on LinkedIn. It's basically what I use it for is I collect my network online. My professional network, I get their names, their companies, the people they're connected to, I get their email addresses, their phone numbers. I can store that in the cloud as part of a social profile, and that actually provides value to other people. Use LinkedIn. The best content for LinkedIn are blogs and network-specific content. So if you are looking at working in the TV industry, post stuff about the TV industry. It sounds obvious, but that's how it works, because chances are you will appear more likely. If you type in your name into a search engine, LinkedIn is 9 times out of 10 going to appear above your Facebook page. So it's really useful for your kind of like personal, professional profile. YouTube is a social network. The social network is not quite as always friendly as on other things. You can get a lot of people kind of like slating it. But as long as you're prepared for that in the first place, get yourself on YouTube and use it. Don't just think about your content uploading. Find other people's content and pull it together on your channel. There are people who have made money out of other people's content just by pulling it together, and everyone goes, I need to go there. If you've got a certain topic area or a certain interest that you want to promote, say the World War II, then it might be a useful resource for those people who want to watch your documentary. Right, I've talked about ambassadors, but this is basically those people who you can arrange directly to share mutually relevant content. So if you've got somebody out there who you know is making a documentary on football, you hate football, but you know some of your audience will like football, and you're making a documentary on peanuts, but you know some people out there don't like peanuts, you can basically arrange to literally amplify each other's messages to each other's audiences. This is where I was talking before in terms of the value of your audience. The more you have, the more you can give to other people. I would recommend that you do this all together, group it all together. spend maybe a month creating 12 months worth of content. That way, you can spread it out over a year, you can schedule it, you can time it, it's all ready, and you will basically attract more people because they will know at a certain time or a certain day or a certain month, you are likely to be pushing something out. It's not programming, it's more regularity. They will be attracted to you because they know they can rely on you. It goes towards that validation again. Think of yourself as a publisher, even when you're a documentary filmmaker or something like that. Continually ask yourself, is this content? Could I take a photograph here? Could I grab an interview here? Could I use my smartphone in interesting ways?